All right, so welcome. This is the Digital Skills Certificate webinar in partnership with Pathstream and NYU Tandon. So we're so happy to present these options and these certificates to you today and share a little bit more about what we do, how we do it, how we partnered with NYU, and all of that good stuff. All right, yes. So a couple of agenda items here. We're going to start with introductions, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what is Pathstream and the 4 certificates that we're going to present to you today. And then we'll do a brief platform demo and a Q&A at the end. And so we welcome your questions throughout the session. You're welcome to put your questions into the Q&A. That's the best place to put them while we're presenting. And Brooke will be helping answering those. And then at the end of the session, we'll also answer those questions towards the end. All right. So a couple of introductions. I know that Lindsay, I think, is a panelist, but needs to switch over to a participant. So I'm going to actually hold on her introduction for just a minute to see if maybe Zora can get her the right link. But my name is Lauren Piser. I am the VP of Learning Experience at Pathstream, which means that I have participated in the creation of all of our certificate programs. So worked with subject matter experts and our curriculum designers to develop these certificates. So really excited to showcase all of these with you today. And I'm joined by my colleague, Brooke, as well.
Hi, Lauren, thank you. And so excited to be here with you all today. That I have worked actually across many different venues, from higher education to business, really thinking about how do we help students with the future-ready skills they need to be prepared for these jobs of the future. And I say the future, but these are the jobs of now. And I am incredibly excited about, how this program prepares students for the huge opportunities that are emerging around digital skills in today's job market. So thanks for having me here.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to pass it back over to Lindsay to introduce herself, and then I'll have her also share why Pathstream and NYU partnered on these programs.
Hi, Lauren and Brooke. Thanks so much for having me today. Super excited about the opportunity to continue working with Pathstream. I'm Lindsay Hayes. I am a learning scientist. I really like studying how people learn well. And I also manage the professional education opportunities at NYU. So we really want to work with the new student or someone who's not necessarily looking for a degree program or a 4-credit program. We're looking down the avenue of learners who are trying to upskill or, switch careers or advance their career by getting on-demand learning, as you all provide. So NYU loves Pathstream. I mean, I took a class through Pathstream recently just to kind of get a feel for, the types of the learner experience, and it's awesome. I've been through a lot of different education programs in terms of, I taught middle school, I got a master's from Johns Hopkins, I got a PhD from Penn State, I've, advised college athletes, I've worked with a lot of different learners, but the software and the labs that they use with Pathstream, just the real course flow, how they really chunk instruction into bite-sized pieces, and then right after you learn a piece of information, you get to do a lab and really get to work on what you just learned and see examples and be able to learn through doing, which is super important. Pathstream does a really good job of making sure you feel connected to other learners, which is really important for learning as well. So NYU found, Pathstream as a superb provider of a lot of the content and a lot of the workflow, and then we couple that with NYU instructors, and it's a really good mix. So we're happy to have you, happy to continue working with Pathstream, and I'll be hanging around if you have any NYU specific questions.
Great, thanks, Lindsay. All right, so to get into it, I wanted to first frame our certificates for you. So these certificates are teaching what we call digital skills. And digital skills are some of these software skills that you're seeing in a lot of job descriptions today. They could be things like, spreadsheets and SQL and Tableau, or things like Salesforce and Ads Manager. And what we're doing is we're teaching you these digital skills in a variety of programs that help to prepare you for these jobs that are better paying, that have a better and really strong growth trajectory, and are in demand now and in the future. So all of our programs are really helping you to learn really foundational and important digital skills. And the way that we do this is we teach you these different subject areas by using various platforms and software tools. Instead of, taking a test and watching a video, you're actually in a very hands-on environment where you're practicing using spreadsheets and you're practicing ASANA, and you're actually kind of doing real-world assignments that are related to what you would have to do on the job. You'll also do projects and get personalized feedback from your NYU instructor. And so this is really valuable because you'll have the opportunity to get qualitative feedback and quantitative feedback on your performance from an actual instructor throughout your experience. And so each of our certificate programs that I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to talk about 4 different programs. Each of them is 3 courses long. And after these 3 courses, you'll be prepared for one of these growing career areas, one of these growing digital skills areas, whether that's data analysis or project management. And you'll also earn a certificate from NYU Tandon School of Engineering that is co-branded with Tandon and also with the tech provider. So that could be Facebook or Salesforce. And we also offer all of our students career services at no additional cost. So that is part of this program. And specifically when I say career services, what I mean is that, from the start of the program, we're going to be sending you job opportunities in your inbox every week. But in the final course, in the 3rd course, we're going to meet with you one-on-one to do career coaching. And so we're going to go through your resume, through your LinkedIn. We're going to help you with interview prep. We're going to help you prepare for those the likely interview questions that you'll get. And we just give you a lot of opportunities to support your job search. And so we'll suggest specific jobs for you to apply to. We'll send you jobs that we think are a good fit. But there's really that one-on-one relationship that starts in the 3rd course of the program. So there's 4 programs I'm going to talk about today. The first is the Facebook Digital Marketing Certificate. The second is the Salesforce Administrator Career Certificate, the ASANA Project Management Certificate, and the Tableau Data Analytics Certificate. And you can see that each of these course areas is covering a lot of different topics. So we're not just covering Facebook in the Digital Marketing Certificate. We're not just covering Tableau, right? We're covering a lot of different additional tools in each of the certificates. So a couple of really basic program details that might be on your mind. As I mentioned, each of our programs are 3 courses each. And the entire experience, all of those courses together, it'll last somewhere between 18 and 27 weeks. So in, between 18 and 27 weeks, you'd be done with your certificate, you'll have that earned, and you'll have completed those 3 courses. Our programs are what we call flexibly paced, which means that you do not need to log in every Tuesday and Thursday for your lecture. All of the material you need is inside of the Pathstream platform, and your instructor is helping you to do certain content every week by keeping you on track and keeping you on pace. But it's up to you if you log in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or if you log in Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. That's part of your own decision, but we want you to complete a certain amount of content every week. As Lindsay mentioned, you have that dedicated instructor from NYU who is answering questions, grading your projects, and they're on Zoom if you want to meet one-on-one. And you'll also, at the end of this program, earn that certificate from NYU Tandon. So I'm not going to read all these testimonials in a lot of depth, but I do want you to know that you are going to be, you're doing a program that other students have done before you, right? And they've seen success in the job market. They've really enjoyed this experience. And so these are a couple of the things that they've said about their experience. They like how the information is really broken down. They like the labs and the projects, which I'm going to show you today. And so there's just a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of features in this experience that many past students have enjoyed and found really helpful. So let's talk about each certificate in a little bit more depth. The first certificate that I want to talk about is the Tableau Data Analytics Certificate. And this is meeting a really clear job demand for data analysts and business analysts and people that have Tableau skills and data skills. So you can see some of the job demand on the right-hand side, but more and more jobs today are requiring data analysis skill sets, even though they're not called a data analyst. So what we're seeing is that some students are pursuing data and business analyst roles. Some students are trying to get a promotion in these programs or just bring in an analysis skill set into their toolkit, right? And at the end of this program, you're also prepared for a Tableau specific exam only offered by Tableau called the Tableau Desktop Specialist exam. So by taking this certificate, you're also preparing for that additional exam should you choose to take it. And you can see here that these are some of the learning outcomes for each of the 3 courses in this program. The first course focuses on spreadsheets and analyzing, manipulating, cleaning data using spreadsheets, which is a really foundational topic for data analysts. The second course goes into more depth on SQL, which is a more powerful analysis tool. And SQL, you'll also be analyzing data using SQL. The third course is totally devoted to Tableau. And so you're going to be, Tableau is a data visualization software, and you're going to be using Tableau to visualize data and tell stories about your data. So I'm going to start talking about the Salesforce certificate now, but if you have more specific questions about the Tableau program or any of our programs, I welcome you to put them into the Q&A so that we can get back to you on those. But the second certificate I want to talk about is the Salesforce Administrator Career Certificate. And so again, this is really meeting a strong demand for professionals with Salesforce skills or CRM skills. So Salesforce is considered a CRM, which is a customer relationship management system. And this is a software tool that many businesses use to manage their relationships with their clients. And so this program is teaching you how to use and enable and structure Salesforce for a variety of business roles. And so some of those roles could be a Salesforce administrator or a sales ops manager or a sales rep or an SDR. These are all different types of roles that use Salesforce. But if you look online, you can see that there's tons of other roles that use that require Salesforce skills. So after taking this certificate, students sometimes pursue an entry-level job in one of these areas. They also might apply their skill set to their current role. And they're also prepared for the Salesforce certified, oh, sorry, one second. Sorry about that. Actually, Brooke, can you take over on this slide? I need to clear my throat.
So, we really do focus in on opportunities around, what's popular and needed in the field. You can see that there are a huge number of job postings. If you were to go to Indeed or LinkedIn and put in sort of CRM, customer relationship management as a header, you would get so many opportunities that would come up. So our program is really looking at how do we help you, if you have experience with Salesforce or not, be ready to pursue an entry-level job with these skills. And in fact, as well, you will be, once you're through the program and, with a reasonable amount of study to follow up, if you're interested, you also will be qualified to take the Salesforce Administrator Credential exam as well, which is really, again, another proof point after finishing this certificate to a future employer that you are certified and ready to go with this skill set.
Great, thanks, Brooke. So I like to also talk a little bit about what is a Salesforce admin, because you might see this role and not really know what it entails. So Salesforce administrators are really focused on managing customer relationships and automating business processes so that a business can be efficient with how they manage their clients and their customers. And so this is actually a more technical role. It's a more technical skill set, but it really just involves knowing how to manipulate and work with Salesforce. And so I think this is a great role if you want to do a little research. We have a lot of videos on this in our YouTube page, but if you've never heard of it, it's really worth some consideration because Salesforce is a growing skill in so many job descriptions today. And so this is kind of an area of real intense growth. but Salesforce administrators are needed in nearly every industry. And that's the same for data analysts and digital marketers, is that you can be a digital marketer and a Salesforce admin in healthcare or education or insurance or marketing. It's just really very broad. So all of our programs are really geared towards giving you a skill set that can be used across any industry. And I know that we're talking about Salesforce right now, but I see a question just out of the corner of my eye about the Tableau certificate and the length. And so the Salesforce certificate is 18 weeks and the Tableau certificate is 27 weeks. So here are again the learning outcomes for the Salesforce certificate. So the first course is focused on a broad understanding of CRM, business, sales processes, how CRM is used, how Salesforce is used to build reports and charts and dashboards. The second course is really going into depth on Salesforce administration. And so you're going to use Sales Cloud features. You're going to build custom apps in Salesforce and configure reporting tools and permissions. And the third course is really about advanced topics in Salesforce. And so that could be advanced topics in Sales and Service Cloud, as well as how to create advanced reports and analytical tools. So the ASANA project management is another certificate I want to talk about, and that's an 18-week program. And this program is really built for people that want to get a project manager role or a project coordinator role, or even just want to build better project management skills into their existing role, because most jobs today require project management. So there's a real need and desire to kind of build your project management skill set in any role. But if you're looking for a specific project manager role, this is a really great program to try out. So we will also prepare you for the CAPM exam, the Certified Associate in Project Management exam, after you take this program. So by taking this program, you're ultimately preparing for that exam, and we're going to provide you with some study guides and support to eventually go on and take that exam. And again, here are the learning outcomes for those three courses. So the first course in the project management certificate focuses on foundations of project management, how to write a scope statement, analyze stakeholders, understand a project, and kind of the guidelines for that project. The second course goes into depth on effective project planning. So this is where you're going to use ASANA, which is a project management software, to create project schedules, budgets, communication plans, a lot of the documentation that's needed to manage a project effectively. And then the third course is focused on risk quality, and integration management. So these are kind of advanced topics in project management around how to communicate risk and changes to projects and some of the things that can happen as you're managing a project. And last but not least, I want to talk a little bit about the Facebook Digital Marketing Certificate. So this is the last program that we're offering today. And this program is really built for professionals that want to become a digital marketing coordinator, a marketing strategist, a social media marketer, right? Or people that want to build this into their skill set, that already work with marketing in some way and just kind of want to augment their skill set. So there's a lot of uses for this skill set, and we can just see that so many companies' marketing efforts are shifting from more and more into digital. And so they are looking for professionals with these kinds of skills. So there are three courses in this certificate. The first course is focused on foundations of marketing, foundations of business and strategy. And the second course then will go into a little bit more depth on marketing analytics. So you'll be using spreadsheets to analyze marketing data and draw insights for marketing contexts. And then in the third course, we'll be talking about social media marketing. So specifically Facebook, using Ads Manager and really creating campaigns using Ads Manager. All right, so what I want to show you for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to take more questions, is to show you how this platform is going to look and feel if you're a student in the program. So I think this is an important thing because we kind of want to know what this digital classroom looks like. So I want to switch over my screen here. So right here, what you're looking at is the SQL for Analytics course. So this is our second course in the program, in our data program. And you can see that the course is laid out into various sections of content, right? And so your instructor's role is really to guide you to do certain sections each week. So for example, you might do sections 3 and 4 in a certain week, and your instructor will give you that information and make sure that you're well equipped and prepared to do that work. But it's up to you when you're going to log in and do section 3. All of the material you need is right here inside of the platform. There's no extra textbooks or extra material than you need. Everything is here inside of Pathstream. So let's look into one of these lessons here. So this is one of the lessons you would navigate as a student. And you can see that there's text, there's images, there's what we call knowledge checks, which are really quick ways for you to assess yourself. These are not graded, but they're little quiz questions for you to see, did I understand what I'm learning? Am I on track? And there's always an explanation here. We do have videos in the platform, though the platform is not predominantly videos, which I think is important to note. A lot of what you'll do in Pathstream is reading, watching, listening to something, and then actually doing it and applying it in some sort of a lab or an activity, which is what I'm going to show you in a couple minutes. So there's all sorts of graphic organizers. There's different ways of kind of learning and seeing the material displayed. And when you get to the very end of a lesson, you're going to hit what we call a lab. And in this environment, when you click Launch Lab, what's going to open up is an environment that looks like this. And so what's happening here is that I have my SQL Workbench, which is a platform that's loaded up on the right-hand side, just sort of with a click of a button. And on this side, I can write things, I can run queries, I can manipulate data on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side are a series of instructions and videos and quiz questions that help me to learn and do things on the right side. And so this is kind of like a sandbox or like a lab environment where you're learning how to use the technical tool right here in the classroom. So you're not downloading anything, you're not going to a bunch of other pages. Everything is contained in this experience. And so this is also the environment you would do your projects in. So your projects would be done this way as well, where instead of a next button, there would be a submit button, and you would be able to do your work and submit it to your instructor.